What is up guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash with Style, and we are back with another video for you guys. Today we have week 5 of the MLCW and we have Lannister Gold, otherwise known as Nulldus 2.0 against ClashersGirls02, which is a Brazilian clan made up of girl clashers, I believe. That is what I have been informed. So well done obviously to Lannister Gold Nulldus 2.0 on the victory, 2 stars. Allowing them to win this one. So we're just going to jump straight into it, take a look at 5 attacks today. We've got a 9, 10, 11 and 12 all to look at, so let's just jump into them. We're going to start off with a Town Hall 9 attack right here. Of course, Mass Witches, one of the most popular strategies at Town Hall 9, but Big Mum is going to be showing us how it's done. So we're going to start with a group of witches down on this bottom section, also one coming in on this left hand side, a wizard in there to just help funnel a few of those buildings, same down on this bottom section. Golem is going to push in through the center of both of these groups of witches. The hope here is that some of them go around to this right hand side and left hand side, and a few funnel into the center behind this golem. Obviously got the king and queen in there, and out comes the bowlers from the clan castle. Of course, those max level bowlers are going to do some serious work. We've only got a lava hound coming out of the clan castle, so not too much work to worry about there. Might hold up the queen for a little bit, but really not going to do too much damage, and this is going to allow our bowlers to absolutely rip through the core of this base. So we've got heal spell down through the center to try and keep all these troops up for as long as we can. And both of these groups of witches on either side are doing some seriously good work here. Those healers keeping them up on full health, allowing them to keep pressing around the sides of the base. One healer has switched onto the queen, which is perfect for us. Still got her ability in hand as well. Unfortunately, the queen has jumped into that compartment and got herself stuck, so she is going to be shooting on a wall for a little bit there, but the witches going around the outside are going to be able to pretty much clear out the remainder of these defenses. Queen does use her ability finally there to get through a wall and moves on to shoot another one, but the skeletons from the witches are going to sweep around and finish off these last few defenses right about there. So well done to Big Mum on a very convincing Town Hall 9 3-star. Witches are definitely the way to go, pretty much a guaranteed 3-star. So let's move on to the next attack, which I believe is a Town Hall 10 Baby Dragon attack. So we have Sergeant Hartman going in here, and it is indeed a mass baby dragon attack. So I always love seeing these unique styles that you don't see very often. Of course, mass baby dragon is a strategy in itself, but you don't tend to see it much, especially in these event wars. So it's good to see it in an MLCW war. Hartman is going to be trying to pull it off right here. Let's see if he can do it. So we've got a baby dragon in on this right hand side, the first one. King is going to push in from the top hand side. That wizard is going to be able to take out a couple of buildings as well, and we actually hasted a few balloons into the cannon. I believe it was a cannon. I really didn't see what it was. You might have caught it. Queen is now going to press in from the top of this base. Of course, got some healers on her and going to charge into the center. It's only multi-target Inferno, so not too much to worry about there. If it was a single, might be tough to press into it, but we use 4 earthquake spells to get into the center of that base, which is probably a good way to do it. Only a lava hound coming out of the clan castle, so again, not too much to worry about. Only thing that's going to cause us some issues is timing. We start to get a couple of balloons in from this right hand side. Of course, a Tesla farm pops up, and that is going to take out all of these balloons pretty easily. We are able to take care of one of those Teslas. We also get some minions on to support the queen there as she pops the lava hound. Definitely don't want those healers to take too much damage. The queen is continuing to press into the center of this base, able to take out the multi-inferno as well as 2 air defenses, which is perfect for us. In fact, so we must have taken out an air defense at the bottom. That must have been what Hartman did at the start with the haste spell and balloons. So Hartman is now bringing a Stone Slammer in from this left hand side, a few baby dragons in there too just to help support, trying to keep them spread out if at all possible to keep them under their rage ability. A rage spell of course used on the queen charge in through the center to keep her up for as long as we can. We have one more rage spell left, 2 baby dragons in our arsenal. Queen's ability used through the center of this base. She's going to take out that gold storage, then take care of those skeletons, then I believe probably sweep around onto that archer tower or whatever she can get in range of. Expo is going to take down our Stone Slammer in the center. Rage spell finally used right there, which will allow these balloons to really sweep through these remaining defenses, no bother at all. And the baby dragons that are still up are doing some great work for us. They have easily picked off all the outside of these buildings, and Hartman has easily strategically placed a few balloons, few baby dragons, and the queen charge did a lot of work in the center for us. So well done to him on that unique 3-star attack right there. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one we have for you guys is from Big Jim Town Hall 10, and he did indeed feature in my last recap, I believe, and he is featuring again because he is such a fantastic attacker, able to bring those 3 stars pretty much every time. So it's great to see Big Jim bringing in another one for you guys here, and we've going in with the mass miners. So it's great to see such a variance of strategies, a lot of different strategies from the Lannister Gold clan, which is great for me, able to cover a lot of different content in one recap. So starting off with a queen charge there, able to clean up quite a few buildings with a wizard and a balloon, I believe it was, maybe just to check for any seeking air mines on those healers. So queen is going to push into the center, hopefully able to take down the enemy queen, expo, clan castle, whatever needs to be taken care of. Poison spell down nice and early to try and stop those archers from doing too much work. That rage spell is keeping that queen alive, which is perfect for us, and in comes the miners. The king has gone down on that right hand side just to take care of a couple of buildings to start that funnel. The Stone Slammer is going to come in behind the king right there, unfortunately picking up a few mines right very early on, so not going to get the best value out of the slammer. A spring trap also going to catch some of the miners coming out of there, which is very unfortunate to start. The queen has done her job and is going to continue pushing on through if she can. Those air sweepers might cause some issues though, as the queen is going to the healers, sorry, are going to be pushed off the queen, and she is going to have to use her ability in order to try and get any further. Heal spell of course used through that multi-target inferno and to help those miners deal with the enemy king. Our king has used his ability on this bottom section and is going to sweep around right there. Our queen is still up, but she is taking a lot of damage. The healers still getting swept away by that sweeper. The queen now taking care of that archer tower, and hopefully those healers will bring her up a little bit before they get taken care of by that air defense on that top hand side. We've got a Tesla farm to deal with in the back end. Unfortunately, a giant bomb is going to deal with quite a few of our miners there, the majority of them swinging around next to the king. Going to push up. That bomb tower might cause us some issues. Luckily that Tesla is focused on the miners and not our queen. Queen is going to step up, unfortunately only onto the elixir storage. We could do with her dealing with a few of these defenses right now, but at this point the king up, the queen up, as well as a few miners is going to allow Big Jim right here to get the job done. We will speed it up to ×2 just to finish off these last few buildings right here. Queen actually gets taken down, and with the few troops Jim has left, he's able to pick up a 3-star. So well done to him on that one. Let's move on to some Town Hall 11 attacks. Out of Service is going to be bringing in the next attack for us, and we've got a drag bat attack strategy. The dragons have came in right into the meta now after those recent balancing changes, and it's great to see them being used more. It was mainly ground based or Lalo attacks that we saw before, so it's good to see some dragons coming back into the fold. So Out of Service going to be bringing in a drag bat attack strategy right here, and E-Drag going to start off on that right hand side, definitely a flaw in the base design right there, able to take down a lot of buildings before even get targeted by that archer tower. We now have the king followed by the queen, dragons, lava hounds, balloons all pushing in from this right hand side. The king didn't get too much value, but he did create the funnel enough to make sure these dragons swung in through the right hand side into the core of the base. Of course, the warden's ability used nice and early on there to tank for some of those eagle shots. We definitely don't want too many eagle shots raining down on our dragons. And in comes the bat bomb on this bottom section. Of course, free spell used on that wizard tower to stop any splash damage onto the bats. Let's hope they get as much value as they possibly can. The stone slammer is unfortunately going to get caught by that tornado trap right there, but the E-Dragon on that right hand side still up, clinging onto dear life. That multi-inferno is going to wreck through all of our bats pretty much. A bomb actually taking them out at the end of the day, but the stone slammer is going to continue pushing through. That air defense probably will not even be able to stop it. A seeking air mine does stop the air defense, the stone slammer, sorry, right there, and out comes those max level balloons, but we don't even really need them. We've still got 2 dragons and the E-Dragon down on this bottom section. We've got balloons, all the balloons from the stone slammer pushing in through the top. The warden going strong as well as a dragon. And at this point, it's just a game of cleanup. So we will speed it up a little bit right there. A seeking air mine finally taking care of that electro dragon. And what value he got from that out of service, able to clear pretty much all of this base with those bat spells on the back end. So well done on that one. Let's move on to the last attack of this video, which I believe is a Town Hall 12 3-star. It is indeed a Town Hall 12, and we have Rebel coming in here with those miners. So good to see some more miners. I feel like they've slightly gone out of fashion recently, but it's good to see some people trying to bring them back. So we've got a giant in at the start, followed by a few bowlers to try and get as much splash damage as we can onto the king, as well as those Teslas. Maybe not getting as big a value as Rebel would have wanted at the start, but able to do a little bit of work, and that will allow the queen to push in and get onto those Teslas nice and early. We're also looking, I'm guessing here, to try and break into the town hall compartment or get close to it and sweep around if we can. Get those miners onto it nice and early and get them taken out. Right, what's going on at the top? We've got a giant followed by a bowler, going to do a little bit of splash damage, but not quite enough to take care of that cannon. Unfortunately, it's just going to have a slither of health left. We've got a wall wrecker coming in here, which is going to allow the queen to break in. We've got lots and lots of witches. Looks like 3 witches, as well as some archers coming out of the clan castle, and that is going to cause us a few issues. But luckily, an ice golem coming out of the clan castle. Of course, poison spell down right there. Queen is stepped up, and she is on that town hall. Her ability used to make sure we get through that if we can. Town hall falls for the first star. Jump spell in the center right there, only able to actually give us access into a couple of compartments. Maybe could have been slightly better placement on that from Rebel, gaining access to the other compartment where the clan castle is. Queen is going to deal with the enemy king. We need her to step up as quickly as possible and deal with that eagle artillery. We don't want our miners taking too many shots from them. The enemy queen is already ripping through a lot of our miners. Finally, they take her down. Queen steps up in the center, deals with the eagle artillery. Finally, it has gone down. She is going to continue pushing on through as long as she can. Her ability, of course, was used at the town hall, so we don't have that in hand. We have 1 heal spell left to allow these miners to push through. Luckily, the queen is going to take out a few of these splash defenses on the back end. That multi-target so vital to get rid of to keep those miners alive, and they are going to continue sweeping through around the bottom section of this base. The queen finally does fall, but she certainly has done her job and charged through a huge portion of this base, doing some great work to allow these miners to easily finish off this one and pick up a very convincing 3-star for Rebel. Those healers going to bring the warden back up to full health. The king is also pushing around the back end, doing some work for us, and that Tesla is not going to be able to stop the amount of troops we still have up. Another 3-star for Lannister Gold, and of course they won the war So congratulations again to Lannister Gold Nulldus 2.0. An absolute pleasure recording your 3-star attacks, and I look forward to recording lots more in the future. So if you guys are still here and you're still listening, please drop a comment below which of these 5 attacks was your favourite. Was any of them you? And yeah, subscribe too. We're really close to 2,000. I believe we're only about 20 subscribers away. I'm really looking forward to hitting that 2K mark. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.